afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Josh Guillory Show. Woo! We are broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. We are also broadcasting live from the Rumble studio in the web, on the web. Rumble.com. Go check us out, the Josh Guillory Show, the mothership. We're on all of our socials for the show. We're on my X page at Josh Guillory USA. And I remain your humble hope. Humble hope? I can't even talk today. You know that guy over there? Q Magic? He's in the studio with me. What's up, Q?
Good afternoon. It is a blue sky, low humidity day in South Louisiana. It's like a Christmas miracle.
I love it. I love it. Get your stockings out. All right, guys, man, we got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about today. I can't wait. I hope everyone is having a beautiful day. All right, so I'm running across an article from The Hill, and it's reporting on two separate discharge petition efforts. Remember, we talked about discharge petitions yesterday or day before. A discharge petition, very rare, very rare. But it forces a vote on the floor on a certain issue. I don't know why we don't use it more. Man, senior leadership would never let that happen. But maybe they don't have a chance. Maybe there is a swelling. Maybe there's a swelling coming across, amongst the members, actually representing their districts and saying, hey, a lot of us believe in some of this stuff. Our constituents do too. We don't need to be told what to do by these 6 individuals that are running the show, that keep getting us in all this debt and stuff. If only that was made in good faith like that. But we'll give them the benefit of the doubt because I certainly appreciate some of the efforts here. Okay, so The Hill is reporting on 2 of these efforts, 2 separate discharge efforts in the House that are aimed at banning stock trading by federal officials, and the split is now fully out in the open. And we're going to talk about that split, okay? So 2 competing approaches moving at the same time. One's broader than the others, So one approach, let's talk about it. One approach centers on a bipartisan bill that would ban members of Congress and their immediate families from owning, buying, selling individual stocks while they're in office. We should call that the Nancy Pelosi bill. She's not the only one. Her husband is a really good stock trader. I mean, he's the best. Big league.
I hear he even outperforms Warren Buffett.
Yeah. Yeah. Harvard Business School turned down Warren Buffett. Did you know that?
I did not.
They have openly said that's one of their regrets. They did. So anyway, one approach, it's bipartisan. It's sailing through. It seems. I don't even know if you need if you even need to go extreme on a separate discharge petition on that one. Leadership seems to be on board with that one. But basically, it only sticks to Congress, okay? So none of the congressional office holders, both in the House and the Senate, could do any of that stuff. Sell it, buy it, own it, whatever, okay? But also to their family members as well. Great initiative. I think most people, Democrat or Republican, we'll keep talking. So the bill would require lawmakers to actually divest or place assets into a blind trust. That's President Trump, you may recall, put his assets in his business, a lot of that in a blind trust the first time. I'm assuming he did it the second time as well. Some of his current dealings, not his previous ones, unless it's something like this. But so supporters are attempting to force a vote using a discharge petition. They're saying we're tired of talking about it. Supposedly we have leadership approval. I'm tired of talking about it, and it's bipartisan. So again, discharge petition would allow the rank and file, okay, the rank and file member of Congress to bypass leadership if they can collect the magical number of 218 signatures. I don't think that would be a problem. I also don't think it would be too hard to push it through the normal route, but regardless, I'm happy to have the discussion here, okay? Now, that effort, that specific one, only for Congress, it has drawn some Republican and some Democrat support, but has stalled apparently right now just short of the threshold needed to force a floor vote. This is just the bipartisan one. This is the one that is, it has bipartisan support, but not enough to get over the threshold, I guess. But this one would just reach Congress and just be for congressmen and women and their family members. Got it, okay? Now, so they have support. They're trying to get onto a floor vote, but at the same time, House Democrats, okay, there's something else brewing out there. House Democrats they're not so much bipartisan here, yet at least. They're planning a separate discharge petition that goes further. Now, their proposal would extend the stock trading ban beyond Congress to include the president, the vice president, and their immediate families. So definitely something there. Democrat leadership has made clear they prefer this broader version and are discouraging members from backing the Congress-only approach. Wonder if they would have said that if Joe Biden was the president. Just curious. Hey, pal. Come a little closer.
Sniff.
All right, so under House rules, either petition would need the 218 signatures to succeed to force that floor vote. But even if that happens, leadership still has procedural tools to delay, to weaken, or even shut down the effort entirely. So again, rank and file, everybody seems to be talking about it. Both sides are framing their preferred version as an anti-corruption measure, both of them. Both sides are openly gaming out timing, as you can see. They're also trying to game out retirements. They're trying to look at primaries. They're trying to see political leverage. Yes? Oh, okay. So that's the landscape. Now, here's how to understand what's actually, well, we'll talk about a little bit more. Let's dive into it a little bit more. We'll take a tiny little early break. And, when we get back, we'll talk about the Land of Oz a little deeper. All right, stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Also broadcasting live on Rumble. Go check us out. I got you over there at question 8. You win today. You win today. You were directing the show yesterday on Rumble. I like that. You gave me some good ideas. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Teamwork. All right, go check out that Rumble chat. I know it's about to be hot and heavy, and I certainly appreciate it too. So, we're talking about we're talking about preventing stock trading amongst public officials, okay, while they're in office. We have one bill one initiative, which would be a bill, to only limit it to Congress. Now, there's a competing bill brought to the floor, or is trying to get to the floor that's a bipartisan. The last bill, this other bill is only led by Democrats, and it would extend to the president, vice president, and their immediate family members as well. So, a lot of assumptions maybe that are false. Good faith is one of them. My good faith antenna, I'm not ready to say that they're acting in bad faith, because I like the initiatives. I like the talk. I like the discussion. I would actually support extending it to the president and vice president. I have no problem with that. Maybe there's some concerns that I don't know of that we could, because you don't want to unnecessarily infringe on someone's rights, property rights too, constitutional rights, just because they're an office holder. So you don't, that's not fair. But at the same time, we can walk and chew gum. But if I had to make a decision based on what I know right now, I would actually choose the bill that would extend to the executive as well. I just think that's healthy. That's my opinion. But I reserve the right to change my mind, and so should everybody else. Never understood that. Oh, flip-flopping, not really. Not if it's on informed decisions. What kind of leader would do? Now, that should be rare. You should be principled in your statements. Can't be principled if you don't know it. Can't believe well, I guess you could. People believe things they don't know all the time, I guess. I'm sure I do too. Who knows? Now, kind of my phrase these days. Who knows, Q? What do you think? Do you know?
I think the entire country wants this to happen.
Yeah, I do too.
I think there is a limited group of people in D.C. and the Capitol that don't, but I think the rest of us are going, it's common sense.
No brainer here. All right, let's talk about the reality here. And I'm probably preaching to the choir of this very wonderful audience. Washington agrees. Yeah, there's some agreement in Washington. You know what they agree on? Headlines.
Yep.
That's what they agree on, okay? Voters across the spectrum are tired. We are tired of elected officials trading stocks while writing laws that move markets. I mean, that's sentiment right there. That's not controversial. And it's not controversial anymore. It's mainstream. That is a very mainstream thought by the folks. Where the fight breaks out is over scope and strategy. That's what we're talking about right now. So if we give both camps the benefit of the doubt and we wrap our arms around the good, which is transparency and it's not transparency. I guess it is a layer of it, but it's more of preventing actual corruption, like real actual crimes, not play campaign BS. Now, one camp, talking about camps, one camp wants to focus the ban to aim squarely at Congress, arguing that lawmakers are the ones that regulate themselves, and regulating themselves is the most direct and realistic place to start. Think about it. Makes sense. Hey, if the Congress only ban passes, I'm high-fiving people. I'm hugging people. I'm thinking that's a wonderful victory. And kudos to every single lawmaker that gets on board with that. Wonderful. It's wonderful. They want to extend it to the president and the vice president. I think that's appropriate. I think most folks would. It doesn't matter who's in office. It's the office. There's only been 47 administrations. There's only been 45 people that have ever occupied that office. So the chances are very slim. I mean, come on. Now, the other camp wants a broader ban that sweeps to the executive branch and turns the issue into a full government ethics reform. I don't know if judges have any restrictions, but I wouldn't mind it extending to them either. Okay, now I'm probably overextending, but I am very much a fan of transparency in government. Very much a fan of it. I believe the folks can handle way more than the elites give us credit for. Just got to give the folks the information. Let them decide. Let them decide. Not hard. It's all about respect. So the procedural tool now, the procedural tool at the center of all this is this little discharge petition. It is rare, guys. I'm telling you, and it's rare for a reason. It is disruptive. It is, and you have to have order. I get it. And I know I don't like the fact that 6 to 8 people run Congress. I don't like that. But I do like and appreciate, I don't know if I like it, but I appreciate the fact that you have to have some kind of organizational structure to have any level of efficiency. I get it. My problem is Congress fills those procedural vehicles with issues that have nothing to do with federal issues. That's the problem. But the discharge petition, it's not used. Mainly, we don't see it because most of our history, we've had grown-ups in Congress. For the majority of our existence, even if we didn't have grown-ups, they acted grown-up. Even if they had to fake it, like, oh, I don't cheat on my wife in public and I don't do this. At least you had the people playing the part. Now, I'm not saying it's genuine. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying Congress used to act like professional individuals representing the best people in the world. Representing a voice in the greatest country in the world. We used to act like that. So, yeah, that discharge petition was rare, but so was the nuclear option. So was a whole bunch of other things that we never thought we'd see, and some of the stuff needed to be tossed out. Different times. The filibuster, different times, man. People acted like grown-ups back then. When someone threatened a filibuster, they're like, whoa, Johnny maybe have some good points here. I don't know. Let's see how long he stays up there. All right. That's why these efforts, my dear friends, that's why these efforts matter even before any vote happens. Us talking about it's a good thing. Us chatting about it, thank you guys. I appreciate that. Go to rumble.com, Josh Guillory Show. But they reveal who is willing. Like all of these efforts that we're talking about, it ends up revealing who is actually willing to put their name on paper and who prefers to keep the issue in the talking point phase. This also explains internal friction, by the way. Expanding a bill changes the coalition. Ooh, narrowing a bill, that changes the odds. Look at what's happening. Each choice reshuffles who benefits politically, possibly, who takes heat back home, possibly, who's accountable, if any, Yeah, but look, I'm going to stretch it a little bit. For listeners trying to follow this without, living inside Capitol Hill, procedure. All right, well, I hit it back. Anyway, press the wrong button. It's all good, baby. So the takeaway, very simple. There's broad public agreement. Thank you. There's broad public agreement, broad, across spectrums, okay, that stock trading by federal officials undermines trust. There's deep disagreement inside Congress on how far a ban should go and how fast it should move. And discharge petitions, man, I'm telling you, they're being used less as technical tools and more as leverage plays inside a very divided chamber. And maybe even a divided Congress. I don't know. We're going to see this play out. Hopefully we don't let something really good, like a good initiative to ban this corruption, ban this illegal activity. Hopefully we don't miss that opportunity. Look, if it's Congress, then take the win. If it's a subcommittee, take the win, Expand it, great. But take some wins here, guys. All right. Stick around. Thanks, Q. Appreciate you. I threw you off your game a little bit. That's all me, baby. All right, stick around. We'll be right back. What's up, Big Tib? I see you over there. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the mothership, rumble.com, from the K-Bell studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Rumble.com. Check it. Oh, no. Yeah, you can. We had the volume off during the commercial break, but can you hear me now? You should be able to hear me now. That's so bad that you have sorry for our radio audience, you can't see what I'm discussing. That was so bad you had a screen little option for what you were about to type. All right. Okay, so let's change gears a little bit. We're going to open up the phone lines. That is my absolute favorite part. Ooh, Big Tip says no sound on Rumble. You better press that little button right there. Anywho, all right, let's go to the phone lines. We're going to fix it. Caller, you are live on the Josh Guillory Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from? That's you, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Well, we're going to have to go back. All right, a little technical. I don't know. No, that was not on us. Caller, call back. 232-1542, 844-766-6607. All right, very interesting here. D.C., the District of Columbia and crime. Let's talk about all that, all right? So we're fixing the sound. Douglas Murray, he writes a little article from the New York. We're good? All right, we're good. The New York Post that President Trump's crackdown on crime. Thanks, Big Tim. Crackdown on crime in Washington. Well, it worked. Shocker. So, again, go to the New York Post, Douglas Murray. That's the article that I'm referring to. And it gives some pretty good statistics, but it talks about how the efforts of the president, which is different here in D.C. Remember, District of Columbia, totally different ball game as far as legalities and deployments and all the things, okay? So, D.C., he's saying Trump's efforts worked. They were fast. They were visible. They were decisive. And it exposed just how optional disorder really was all along. All you had to do is care. All you had to do is focus. All you had to do is make priorities. I don't know, priorities? So here's a few key facts. After President Trump moved to federalize public safety in the capital area, well, actually in the capital, and surge uniformed law enforcement, violent crime in D.C. did drop, and it dropped by roughly 50% compared to the same period last year. Robberies fell sharply. Homicides went from a spike to basically a trickle. Union Station, that was constantly in the news. Once surrounded by encampments and chaos, well, it's now clean. It's now calm. It's functioning again. Even longtime Trump critics have publicly admitted the city feels quieter. It feels safer. Feels more normal. That's why everybody here, we all live somewhere. We all live in a community, and either in a city or in the unincorporated areas of whatever parish or county you're in. Someone has somebody running the show, whether it's a city manager or town manager or county or parish manager or president, parish president. Sometimes it's consolidated, like in Lafayette or Baton Rouge and other areas, mayor president. So it's consolidated. But whatever goes on in that town, now they may not control everything, but all this little funny business like panhandling and litter, that is what that mayor or that parish president or that county administrator, it's what they allow to happen. And we as, just Americans, conservative or not, the danger of panhandling, it's so serious. I mean, you have sex trafficking, drug trafficking, human trafficking, and also you're just contributing to the delinquency. You're contributing to someone being less, someone not being in the position to understand and facilitate the value that God has placed in them. Everybody has value. But we diminish one's value if we keep them down. Now, Democrat leadership knows all about that because that's how the slave master keeps being the slave master. You know, it's different slaves these days, but I mean, when you're the party of slavery, you get all that, you know all that. But priorities, and there's a difference, man. You got some mayors that want to do something, and you got some mayors that just want the power. You know, but use the power to help people. And I'm telling you this. I know I'm getting off a little. Quentin's laughing at me. But it's true. It's because you know what? Because I drove by 6 of them to come to the dang studio. And I know how easy it is. But everybody else, look, think about your own town. I know it's maybe not comparable to what I just witnessed, but I get it. But D.C., guys, the District of Columbia, that was like, and it's still not great, okay? But it's totally different. It's a different ball game as far as authority. See, this is not a regular city. This is the District of Columbia, okay? Now, I just don't want our local communities on this covering area to start looking like it. That's it. You know, I mean, it's a domino effect, and it's a slow bleed. That's the problem. When local leaders ignore these small things, how in the heck can you think for a moment you'll manage big things? You can't even keep panhandlers off the road. You can't even keep litter off the road or the streets. Like what? Anyway, but the president got that. I mean, leaders would come to Washington to negotiate or for whatever reason. Business hub, baby. I mean, I know New York City's right down the road. But think about it. That was our front door. The greatest country in the world. The greatest country in the world. You got Ambassador Rowe. You got a whole bunch of stuff. And we were making foreign diplomats, people that were asking to take us seriously, and we're letting doggone homeless encampments in the middle of boy, if you would have tried that. I digress. But I appreciate that, man. I appreciate what the president did. You know, Trump goes in there and actually does something and things happen. Now the part that people should actually sit with, kind of important. What Murray, in this article I'm referring to, what Murray nails, I mean nails on the head, okay, is something normal people already understand instinctively and elites keep pretending not to understand. Disorder is not inevitable. These guys want us scared and victims and lower our standards. That's the problem with the leadership in the Democrat Party. I'm not even saying all Democrats, because I'm telling you, I got friends that are Democrats, and they are not even close to the kookiness that you see going on in leadership in that party. We got our problems too, but we know there are boys and girls. You know what I mean? We're having problems balancing a budget, which mind boggles me. I don't understand. And we have a problem with the easy button, you know, trying to act like a Democrat or socialist expanding government because it feels good, you know, till the other side uses the same power. So we have a problem not thinking past our nose a little bit. But like we don't go crazy with the woke, crazy extremos, okay? Like, we know there are boys and girls. We get it. We support law enforcement. All right, we understand there may be a few bad actors, but at the same time, we need law and order. Most people get that. Most people don't want their cities to be unsafe, Democrat or Republican. We mostly get that, you know? But disorder is not inevitable. Chaos is not compassionate. Public safety is not authoritarian. It's basic. It's basic, you know? All right, when we get back, we'll wrap this topic up. I got a little fun little topic I want to bring up if I have some time. Renee, I see you, buddy. I'm sorry I was turned this way. I didn't see you on that side. All right, stick around. We'll be right back.
It's all good.
Am I live? You are live. All right. What's up, my Rumble folks, my YouTube folks, all the folks? Hey, when we go to commercial break, a lot of times it will be mute. So we got this nice little graphic Quentin figured out. You know, can they hear you over there?
They can.
Well, see, Q Magic, he's real. He's not AI. Are you AI? You look very real.
I mean, that's a really deep question, and let me be clear: M dash, M dash, M dash.
Anybody that used AI will know exactly what he's talking about. All right. Hey, guys, stick around. I just wanted to explain, if you see us and you don't hear any of the sound, when you see that commercial, wherever that thing is right there, commercial break, we'll probably have the sound off. It's probably because Quentin's saying a cuss word or something. I told him, can't have a potty mouth.
I got to save my 8 seconds of bleep in case, and bleeping myself is just bad for business, bad for the show.
All right, we'll be right back. Hey, thank you, Rumble audience. Thank you, YouTube. Appreciate you guys. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We're broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Also broadcasting live on rumble.com. Let me check you out at rumble.com. All righty. Let's see. This segment is brought to you by SeaSafe, S-E-A, just like the ocean, seasafe.com. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Go check us out at rumble.com. Sorry for the little delay there. Okay, so we're talking about a whole bunch of stuff in regards to, D.C. and how a little bit of TLC in the D.C. might go a long way. And we've seen that. We've seen that when it comes to policing. All right, let's go to Renee. Renee, thanks for your patience, my man. You are live. What's up, buddy? Yep, that's you, Renee. All righty, so let's see here. Call back, Renee. Okay, what Murray nails here in this little article, okay, and we talked about it earlier. He nails that if you go in and you focus on the priorities, as an elected official, your number one priority in the executive branch is to keep people safe. Number one. But he definitely goes in here and he talks about, man, we're not gonna, he didn't say it like this, but we're not gonna apologize for common sense. You know, disorder, I'm gonna say it again, disorder is not inevitable. Some of these elites want us to think like it's just so inevitable. Like we're gonna, no matter what you do, it's just doomsday. No matter what you do, like, oh, well, just crime's always going to be there. You know, that is not acceptable. I said it earlier, I'll say it again. Chaos is not compassionate. It's not. You got to make the law enforcement visible. You empower them. You back them up. You do all that, and criminals change their behavior. Immediately, by the way. Not philosophically. Not after a task force study, like right now. So, wasn't complicated if you think about it. Wasn't complicated at all. Trump didn't reinvent policing. He didn't launch a symposium. He didn't do a seminar at the Trump Kennedy Center. He put cops and troops on the street, and, you know, troops should be last resort, but D.C., again, is totally different. Remember, it's a different jurisdiction, different law, under a charter and all the things. But he put human resources that are trained in law enforcement on the streets. And he told them to do their jobs. And suddenly, the excuses vanished along with the crime. Put them in a position where you can support them and give them everything that they need to do their mission, and their mission will get accomplished. Man, law enforcement's a calling. For the most part, people are answering a call to duty, serving something greater than themselves. Very unique, very awesome human beings, very selfless human beings. So when you have an elected official, especially in the executive branch, no matter what level of government, and I say that because this is a city issue, but it's a D.C., and the president can absolutely get involved. But it just goes to show you that if you actually empower your law enforcement, that you support them, not just in words, that you adequately pay them, I know that's a separate issue than this, but that you say, hey, you can go do your job and do the training that you were taught ethically and lawfully. You can do all that, and we got your back. You can do all that without fearing that you're going to get arrested or sued, as long as you don't violate any laws yourself. Because we do give law enforcement a large privilege and responsibility, so we have to hold them to a higher standard. It's an awesome responsibility. Think about it. A lot of authority. Give them the authority to kill under the right circumstances. Legally right circumstances. But all of this, all of this makes it even more egregious to me because for years, how often have we been told? Almost every time we talk about D.C. or any of these big crime cities or any of these cities at all, quite frankly, rhinos do it too. We are told that enforcing laws was mean. that visible policing was provocative. No, what? That public order was somehow oppressive. I could keep going. Meanwhile, regular folks learn to scan. I'm talking about in D.C. Learn to scan subway cars, clutch their bags, and treat daily life like a low-grade threat assessment. That is not compassion. That is surrender. That's what that is. Laziness or lack of desire or in on it with the criminals. I don't know. But definitely not compassion. All about surrender. But look, guys, I tell you what, we got a great hour coming around the corner. I want you to stick around. We're going to switch gears. You're going to want to stick around. To all our Rumble and YouTube folks, thank you guys for joining the chat. We certainly appreciate that. All right, stick around. We'll be right back. All right, hey guys, we're in between hours. Look, this next topic, I want to hear from you. All right, so check this out. We're gonna go over some stuff from New York, the COVID era restrictions. Yeah, dude, it is like when we dive into this, y'all are. I'm telling you, your antennas are gonna be up. Your blood may be boiling a little bit. It's gonna warning. You may have flashbacks to periods of time in your life where things were insane.
I know I did. I forgot that even happened.
Dude, so anyway, check us out here in a little bit. We're going to be off for just a few minutes, stay in this little commercial break. Appreciate you sticking out through the hour break. Thank you, guys. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to hour number 2 of the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the Rumble Broadcasting Studios. How you like that, Q Money? He's over there. He's not behind a mic. It's okay. Also broadcasting live from KPL Studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Go check us out at YouTube. Go check us out at Rumble. That's where the chat's at. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Also, we have quite the little topic that some of my chat mates have. Question, why in the heck would I bring this up on a Friday? It's Friday and we want to talk about COVID? Well, why not? Well, why not? All right, Representative Elise Stefanik. Well, that's in New York. Representative. Demanding some things. Representative Stefanik is demanding answers from New York Governor Kathy Hochul over a COVID-era do not resuscitate directive that quietly told EMS crews to withhold life-saving care. And this is according to reporting published December 19, 2025. Hey, also, guys, this segment brought to you by my friends over there at CSafe, csafe.com, S-E-A, just like the ocean. So let's go over some facts here, all right? In April 2020, I know, crazy times. We hear that and we're like, oh. New York implemented back then, okay? So COVID comes March 2020 to America. New York implemented a 3-day emergency directive instructing, like affirmatively instructing EMS workers not to attempt resuscitation on patients without a pulse. Don't even try it. Don't even try to save lives. The order was in effect from April 17th to April 20th of 2020, and it was reversed, but only after, you may recall hearing this, it was only reversed after public outrage got to a point where you couldn't ignore it. Sadly, that's sometimes how it happens. State officials justified the policy at the time, you may recall, by saying it reduced exposure risk for first responders during COVID. The guidance abandoned New York's long-standing practice of attempting resuscitation for at least 20 minutes. New York City EMS reportedly ignored the order, while EMS agencies elsewhere in the state were required to follow it. Wow. So Representative Stefanik is demanding records showing, hey, how many people died during that window? We owe it to the folks to know. What happened? And what the representative is pushing even more, which we'll see where this takes us, okay? How many might have survived if standard care had been provided? Remember, New York had this rule. Most EMS agencies and companies have their protocol. Most jurisdictions have their protocol, their SOP. Hochul's office, governor of New York, says she had no authority over the decision because she was lieutenant governor at the time. That's true. That's true. The demand comes, though, as Hochul prepares to sign right-to-die legislation. That's why all of this is kind of tying together. That's why all of this we're talking about. I mean, that's some right-to-die legislation. We could have a conversation on that. But here's the part, this is the deeper conversation, because here's the part people remember in their bones, okay? This wasn't a policy debate. This wasn't even abstract theory. I mean, I'm trying here, okay? This fact, this was government deciding in real time who was worth saving and who was not. You can't deny that. That is, how can you couldn't. A reasonable person couldn't deny that. Somewhere in Albany, bureaucrats sat around the table and decided that when New Yorkers dialed 911, the answer might be nothing. No attempt, no fight, paperwork. People feel that. And that happened, by the way. That happened. And it happened quietly. That's the most maybe just eye-opening part. Now, hindsight's 2020. Like, I don't give these people a pass on that. I give a lot of people passes on COVID because, you just never know. You got to give grace until it becomes stupid. No offense. I don't mean that like in a negative way or anything. It's just at some point things get stupid. So I don't give people a pass on that. But this right here, man, come on. That man. And good for hey, look, you want to again, Democrat leadership talking about Trump not giving lawful orders or whatever, even though they have no evidence of an unlawful order. These guys actually did right here. Give unlawful. It's unlawful because it violates their own protocol. How about this? Outside the norm. It's them. And you want to preach to us, Americans, because I'm not even including Republicans in this. Those elites on the left, and there's elites on the right, they look at all of us the same. Peasants. Peasants. Us peasants are smarter than these guys think. And we agree more than these guys think, too, Republican and Democrat. The elites, by the way, who ran COVID policy, yeah, they want everyone to forget all of that phase. They want the control mongers, they want us all to forget what they did to us in COVID. They want us focused on slogans, lectures, selective memory. But people remember. Parents remember. Families remember. EMTs remember standing there with hands tied by the government, by their government. They told us it was about safety. They told us it was about, temporary restrictions. They told us to trust them. Meanwhile, they masked kids. They closed schools. What else? Destroyed livelihoods. Locked grandparents away to die alone. And then slipped a little DNR order into the system like it was a routine memo. Hey, people see through it. People see through it. It took us a few years. But we're here. All right, stick around, guys. We'll be right back, and I can't wait. Let me see you on that Rumble chat, too, baby. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Also broadcasting live on Rumble. Go to rumble.com. Check us out. Peace out. Question 8. You, too, have a great weekend. Shad, New York, you don't stir that pot too fast. I'm with you. I am with you. All right, so we're talking about some COVID protocols that happened in New York. Really, a do not resuscitate order was issued by New York officials during COVID for 3 days. You had some EMT workers that said, no, this is against our rules. This is against our protocol, our practice. I don't know if I can go as far as saying a law, but definitely something that was understood to be what you do in the situation. You know, emergency medical services. I'm just saying.
Almost seems like the person you would call if you need to be resuscitated.
That does sound like the person I would call if I needed to be resuscitated. Yes, that does make sense. So anyway, these guys, man, they go around. We know the infringements. Sad. What's most disgusting, then they turn around and say, well, trust us. They demanded we trust them. And we did, a lot of us. I mean, for about 2 hours. 2 days. I think we gave about 2 days. Until we started seeing, whoa, hold on now. Wait, hold on. Hold on. But these are the same guys and gals. That's the same folks, the same elites that masked everybody, that destroyed people's businesses, didn't even care. Livelihoods. How many elderly folks had to be locked away to die alone? That wasn't compassion. And it wasn't public health. That was arrogance. So, yeah, Representative Stefanik, you are right to demand answers. I think most folks would want to know that. And nothing wrong with a congressman asking a governor that. Nothing wrong with that at all. You know, you got a microphone, use it. Help. I mean, you know, but look, demand answers, not for politics, for truth. For truth. If it can happen to folks in New York, it can happen to folks in Montana, it can happen to folks in California, it can happen to folks in Louisiana. We know that. But get those answers for truth. Families deserve to know whether their loved ones were denied even a chance. Even a chance because someone in power decided efficiency mattered more than human life. These guys can't be trusted at all. And let's talk about the pattern here. COVID exposed how quickly power concentrates when fear takes over. Fear is such a powerful thing. It makes us do things. It makes the human react a certain way. Governors, agencies, so-called experts, all of those guys insulated. That's the thing. All confident, all wrong, and all never accountable. Fauci lied doggone to our face. And I ain't one to bring the pitchforks. Y'all know that. But I think it would be nice to understand the truth. I don't even care about the whole punishment anymore. I really don't. I don't care I don't care if any of them get arrested. I'd rather know the truth. And then put some legislation. I ain't talking about no executive order. Legislation in place to prevent those evils from ever seeping through the halls of Congress, or more specifically, because they have nothing to do with it. They could, but they don't. But ever walking through the halls or even thinking, being a thought in the offices of government in the executive branch. Governors, mayors, president, whatever. because there was a lot of wrongs that were being done. And we know that. This is one, and it is egregious. And I bet you New York ain't the only place that thought about it. They did it. They got caught. Public outrage, like I said, just got to too much. It's only 3 days. What if people didn't say anything? That's why these kind of shows are important. This is more, and this is more of what we're going to see in the future as people need it. We deserve truth. We're just trying to seek the truth, all of us. And we're gonna have to piecemeal some things together. This avenue, what we're talking about through the chat, through the calls we're about to open up, and through the dialogue. We're gonna learn some stuff together. But that's what else are you gonna trust? You gonna turn on the national news? You gonna turn on the news? Yeah, right. I felt like I was more informed when we had the news, like 5:30 news and the newspaper. Less was more. But, I ain't play hating. It's a new environment. They didn't create that environment. Even the media, man, I'm telling you, I will give you compassion here. It's a new day and age. Everybody's a journalist. Everybody has a phone. You're combating time, and when you're rushed, you're going to make mistakes. When you're rushed, you're going to oversee some things. It'll work itself out. We're in a purging, and don't be upset about it. It's fine. It's going to take us about 15, 20 years, put our faith in God. Our country, our founders put their faith in God. So why should we do anything else? Our founders kept it easy. Look at the Constitution. Man, they would be so disappointed right now. They would be confused. They would ask us, why on earth did you take something so simple and make it so hard? Why on earth did you take power away from the family and give it to a federal government? Why on earth did you take and demand power from the church and give that to the federal government? And they would look at the churches when they said that. They would look at the states, their legislatures and governors, and say, what is wrong with you? You're actually taking money from the federal government? Do you know what that's going to cause? We put a tax and spending clause in this Constitution. Do you know what happens? I'm just saying. It would be interesting. But these elites, they don't care how they get power. They don't even know what they want it for. It's an addiction. Really, go ask any of these rhinos or anything. Like, what do you want the power for? What you would think that you would want to build things. That helps people most of the time if you do it right. I mean, if you do it for the right reasons. No. Is it to strengthen the economy? You're assuming a lot there. You're assuming a lot there. But these elites know what they want. They want the power. I mean, we know why they want the power. Power leads to money. Power leads to control. Control leads to what you want. It's I don't know. It's an earthly kingdom that they seek, and it's will be dust, and no one will remember it. No one will remember. If we really want to get deep on a Friday, no one will remember any of us. We don't, whether we like it or not, we will see a heavenly kingdom that is eternal. Whether we join it or not, truly is up to us. And what a beautiful privilege and honor that is. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. The phone lines are open. I got two people over here that's bringing us some wisdom here in a few. Stick around. What up, my Rumble folks? My peeps. We appreciate you guys sticking around, man. Thank you for joining the conversation as well. Appreciate that chat. Our next topic is the border. Actually, we're going to talk about some stuff that it's kind of like the COVID stuff. You know, we're just now able to get truth out of it. You know, some of this sanctuary city nonsense, we're starting to see some of the truth come out. You know, so the truth shall set you free, Quentin.
It's like one of those topics where one is too many.
Man, yeah, you were just saying, we're starting to get these more and more and more, or should I say, we're starting to discover what happened more and more and more. And I do hope that we have enough time to get to that judge. Remember?
Yeah. We had covered that earlier in the year.
Oh gosh, yeah. So that was the judge that actually aided and abetted an illegal alien and blocked ICE's efforts. So she was convicted earlier. I think earlier today.
I think it was earlier today.
Yesterday. So if we get a little chance, we'll talk about that too. And it kind of feeds into this next topic we're talking about. You know, like this whole mentality, like these folks are. Let's get beyond the whole talking points. You know, like these guys are choosing non-Americans over Americans, and you can decide morally or ethically or politically or ideologically what you think is right, but like they are choosing non-Americans over Americans. So, so stick around, guys. We'll literally be back here in about 30 seconds. So, thank you. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We're broadcasting live from Rumble.com. Go check us out, Rumble.com. You can join that chat too, man. Appreciate you guys. All right, also broadcasting live from the KPEL Studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Hey, man, let me tell you all about my friends over there at C-Safe. When strength matters, when custom matters, when failure is not an option, C-Safe delivers. C-Safe FRP products, they're engineered to resist corrosion, reduce maintenance, and outlast the competition in the harshest environments, from offshore platforms to wastewater treatment plants and everywhere in between. Their products over there at C-Safe are American-made and manufactured right here in Acadiana by Americans, American workers. Check them out, csafe.com, S-E-A, just like the ocean. All righty. And Mr. Blue Wave, get out of town. He's calling in. I'm going straight to him. I know you just called in. Mr. Blue Wave, I was literally about to say, you can go to him. I was literally about to say, just like the ocean, me and my friend Mr. Blue Wave go to the Gulf of America on my side, but Gulf of Mexico on your side.
Okay, another thing. I took care of Bobby last week. This is for Mr. Warren.
All right.
This is for Mr. Warren. Okay? When he said something about Blue Wave and the trailer park, I didn't understand that part.
Me neither. I don't remember that.
I don't remember.
All right.
Yeah, that was a couple of days ago.
That was to Warren?
To Warren.
Warren, you better call in and
You better call in.
That's right. Thanks, Mr. Blue.
I don't live in a trailer. I live in a big house.
I'm with you. All right. Hey, all good. First 6 years of my life were split between a trailer park and the country. No joke. Got fond memories of the trailer park. Some people are saying, like, yeah, that explains a lot now. See, what you got to say? I can say it because I grew up. All right, let's see here. Let's go back to the phone lines. Let's go to, look, on cue. No, we got to go to Big Chris first, though. He's been waiting. All right, Big Chris in the hizzy, on Friday.
I was about to say I'm not feeling love. You let Blue Wave cut in front of me, but that's all right. I got time.
I had to on that one. It was, Miss hey, look, Big Chris, it was one of these things like I was thinking of Mr. Blue Wave, and then I turned to my left and I see him calling in. I'm like, I have to take him.
Well, y'all got that exciting connection, I guess. But look, I got this to say. All the ills that you talked about with the trading and the nasty Pelosi and all that stuff, and then what they're doing now, it's a simple fix, and it's the way Congress was run in the very beginning. Take away the power and take away the money. You give them $50,000, that's the national average. You take away all the golden perks they have, the golden insurance, the this, the that. You give them a term limit of 4 to 8 years, whatever. And you will, and whatever they pass, they have to live by. Then what's going to happen is when they get the Congress or whatever, and they only have a short period of time, they know that whatever they pass, they're going to have to live with. So that's going to fix every problem we have. Take away the money, take away the power, and all ills are cured.
Wow. Imagine that. Common sense. You gotta live by the laws that you create. That makes sense. Hey, and we hung up on Big Chris, but Big Chris and whoever wants to hear me, I would be willing to go even further if it gives us a term limit. We could even go and say, hey, 12. You want to do 12 and 12? I don't care if you say you could do 12 in one chamber and 12 in the other, but you can't be bouncing back and forth like they do in Louisiana. 24, you're done, okay? Because at least you got to work you start over almost when you go to another chamber. You really do. But see, a part of me, if you really want to go back to how our founders had it, they didn't get paid. They didn't get, really, it's volunteer. I mean, you were a public servant. You did not get paid, okay? I love that because that means someone would have had to have established themselves, would have to have, had a good head on his or her shoulder to figure things out to be able to be in that position to go do that. But I am also talking to you, now that we're bringing up the trailer park, I am talking to you like someone that came from the trailer park. So I might have some assumptions, man, because there's a counter argument to that. What about these trust fund babies? We don't want them messing up the place, So there's a balance. So I guess you do need to pay them. But can we pay them to stay home? Like, I would be totally cool with that. Can we just pay them to stay home? Y'all only come to Congress for 2 weeks. If you can't pass a budget in 2 weeks, you need to be fired. I'll tell you this. You could get a Fortune 500 company to figure it out. If they get hit with some massive issue to stocks or something, you don't think they can convene and act quickly? Of course they can. Doesn't make them better than any government crony. It just means they're willing to have common sense. They're willing to understand where they are. They are willing to understand where they want to be, and then they make a plan on how to get there in a very efficient way because time literally is money. If only our Congress would act like time is money. Because if you go to our national debt clock, time be money. So let's go back. Oh, which one you want to go?
Let's go to Renee.
Renee! Hey, Renee, I forgot which one called first. I'm so sorry. What's up, Renee? Bring it.
Yeah, I want to say we came up with a nice word during COVID, a phrase, follow the science. Well, following the science, when you're in the lab, you put down what you did, the date, the time. Sometimes you observe the science right there in front of you. Policemen make ammos, that's like a history. That's following the science. And when you look at all the crazy things that happen, what the judges do, they may not know what they're doing. The rioters and stuff, they may not know their parts, their lines, why they're rioting. The people that put them there is following the science, like Russia, like China, like Vietnam. It's a communist trope. You make a problem. You put the people you want in there. You solve the problem. You take over. That's following the science. All the crazy things that happen in America, it's not good for us, but it's good for whoever's following the science and making it happen.
Ooh. I tell you what, hey, Renee, you, even if people don't agree with you necessarily on everything, you just invoke some thought. I will give you that. I appreciate you, brother. Always, always. All right, Warren, you heard Mr. Blue Wave calling you out like that. What's up, man?
I wasn't talking about Mr. Gulf of Mexico. I never said a thing about Mr. Blue Wave.
Yeah.
I was talking about Blue Wave boat. And, talking about what Renee's saying, it's good to know Mr. Blue Wave is listening, though. He's monitoring us now, we know, because we ain't heard from him in a while, so it's good to know he's listening. Guys, you didn't talk about the biggest step and the biggest mass murder by a so-called civilized government, and how the many people that died. We're never going to know about all the people that were human trafficked and sex trafficked, all the fentanyl that came in the country, and the money that was stolen, $500 billion from America, $1 trillion from South American Venezuela, and God knows how much, another $1 trillion or $2 trillion stolen. This is the biggest thing that's ever happened in history, and some people should be just swinging.
Thank you, Warren. Love you, buddy. Okay, I'm just going to go with this. I don't know the truth of any of that, but if maybe half of it is, that's scary. Is that fair?
Definitely.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. Hey, so to our Rumble YouTube folks, the streaming folks, I know on break I was going to talk about the border a little bit. I just got to talk about that judge. It's just something in me. I got to, So we're going to take a little break, but look, when we get back, we are going to talk about, let's see here. What was her name again? I really don't remember what her name is because my computer's not working. Anyway, there was that judge that impeded in the ICE operation over there. And literally obstructed justice, literally got in there, and told her, the defense attorney told the illegal alien, go here because they're going to be looking here. I got your back, boo. Now, I don't know if that's how she said it, okay? I'm just saying. Well, anyway, a jury convicted her. She'd be guilty. All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Also broadcasting live on Rumble, man. Let me see over there at rumble.com. We certainly appreciate you guys. YouTube as well, all the things. All right, Judge Hannah Dugan. I'm sorry, Judge. I did not remember your name. Sorry about that. So all right, you may recall that this is the Wisconsin judge that you've heard about before. And as I said in the break, this is the one who literally stepped off the bench, okay? Literally stepped off the bench and helped an illegal alien slip past federal agents inside her own courtroom. Gives you a whole new meaning of cameras in the courtroom, huh, Judge? Well, that case just hit a major wall, okay? So according to the AP, Associated Press, a jury has convicted Judge Dugan of felony obstruction after prosecutors showed that she distracted ICE agents and walked the defendant out a private jury door. He ran. You can't make this up. He ran. Judge lets him out on purpose. He ran. He gets caught after a foot chase. He was later deported. And now Dugan faces up to 5 years in prison. So, under the Wisconsin Constitution, apparently, convicted felons cannot hold public office. So, Republican leaders in the Wisconsin state legislature are saying, resign now, Judge, or we shall impeach you, period. Now, that should be kind of like where rational people, no matter what the political party is saying like, yeah, I get it. And how about this? Let's just go to all the people that said that Trump committed a crime that was, later dropped, of course. Where are you at? Because there was no evidence there, and all of them, that one New York one, that'll play itself out. But you're okay with no evidence. Where are you at? This was on camera. Where are you going with this? So Democrats in the state, actually, this is getting national attention. So Democrats and activist groups are already calling it political. They're raising money for her defense. Well, she was that you should have done that like the defense, maybe an appeal. The Justice Department doesn't seem to be blinking, though. AG Pam Bondi, I'll give it to her. She said it. She said no one gets to obstruct law enforcement on these things. Whether you're a judge or not, you're not above the law. And we're not even talking about ideology. It's about a judge deciding the law didn't apply to her. Come on. The jury disagreed. I think, I wasn't in the jury deliberation room or even at the trial. But I did see, okay, how about this? Anybody can pull the video, okay? So the only thing we don't know about the video is whether the guy is an illegal alien or not. That's the only thing we don't know. Because you cannot explain that video. You cannot, the only explanation is she let a human being out of a door after a conference when she stepped off the bench, stopped her proceeding, steps off the bench, you know how rare that is, goes into the general public area, talks to a defense attorney, opens the door and lets this dude flee. Those are what we call undisputed statements. There's video evidence and no one's disputing the video. No one that I've heard disputes the video. But admittedly, being objective, yes, we don't know the status of the person that ran. Now we can assume reasonably, I would imagine, that he is here illegally because he was deported. Now you can take that into a rabbit hole if you want to, but I'm not. Pretty cut and dry. Why would I create silly things to talk about? Well, I'm a radio talk show, that's why. kid. Hey, man, let me tell y'all about my boys over there at C-Safe, man. And girls. They're all American. Man, when strength matters, when custom matters, when failure's not an option, C-Safe delivers. C-Safe FRP products are engineered to resist corrosion, reduce maintenance, and outlast the competition in the harshest environments. From offshore platforms to wastewater treatment plants and everywhere in between. Their products are American-made over at C-Safe and manufactured right here in Acadiana by American workers. Check them out, csafe.com, SEA, just like the ocean. Man, we appreciate the support from C-Safe. You know, we do. It does require funds to be able to bring our message and our discussion each and every day. So, you know, I'm proud to partner with a patriot firm like that, you know, a company like that. So if you do need those FRP products, I ask you to just give them a call. I mean, they're very American. And I like them because they were here before the tariffs. You know what I mean? Like they chose to, you know, they had their costs a little higher, but they chose to support local and support our country. So anywho, guys, I wish we had more time, man. Thank you guys so much for joining the conversation each and every day. I love these 2 hours. Guys, have a great weekend. Be careful out there. May God be